Weekend Update featuring Pete Davidson SNL. You do know Pete's old man was a stockbroker, right? And died at 9/11. All the stuff they're making jokes about. Murdered his old man because you guys won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer, right? A child arrived just the other day, came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. Learned to walk while I was away. Yeah, what I really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. And you guys, your boy was just like me. In the future, he probably will be. Yeah. I think, once I fix the technology and the brain damage stops from the Wi-Fi, he'll sit there and go, I'll live the Lord's Prayer like Dad wanted us all to. Well, because what Dad wants is reasonable, good, kind, loving, faithful, courageous, and intelligent. And what the assholes that deny us the Lord's Prayer want is unreasonable and unintelligent, right? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, right? She was going to be an actress, and I'm going to learn how to fly. I never wanted to learn how to fly. I don't like flying, man. Nope. There's a connection to Buddy Holly or something, but no. On my first flight, the little girl at Southwest Airlines, I had my hands in the thing. Dad was going to leave me with some Mormon folks in Chihuahua. I came back at the last minute because he got some kind of deal on the ticket, picked me up and took me with him to Tucson to drive back, which I was glad he did. But I was gripping onto the when we were taking off. First time I ever flew. I was like, holy crap. Then we got up and I was like, okay. Yeah. But I swear it was like a Buddy Holly thing. I was like, damn that Don McLean, right? The three men I admire most. They caught the last train for the coast. Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. The day the music died. And they were singing bye bye this here Anakin guy, right? But it's the sumo wrestling tournaments and all these barbaric things that they still do to try to show their wealth and their power and their position. And it's barbaric and it's insane. And you guys just can't get enough of the joking about it and laughing about it and snickering about it because you make more money than the other people that can try to make a joke about it or a show about it or snicker about it, or you're just jealous. I'm not fucking jealous. Okay. I'm funnier than you. It's just I won't get paid money for the jokes. Okay. Because they stop the jokes over money. That's real funny. Because then it's funny because we're like, hey, we get to go home and laugh and go, that was funny. We're all alive and we're not being murdered by corporations that want to harvest our organs so Putin and Xi can have them. Right? It's like, yeah, no, Parsons is funny. He is. And intelligent? Oh, for crying out for snugging. At first, I thought I was in way over my head. Like when Amy was being predicated on by all those guys in the Middle East. They had these trained guys, assassins that would send her stuff, and they looked like supermodels. And I was like, I can't compete with that. And then they had this other guy was a physician. One guy was an architect that were hitting on her online. Like, shit, I can't compete with that either. And all this stuff, and I was feeling very insecure. It's like all these guys are hitting on my wife. And I'm not a supermodel or an architect and all that. As it turns out, I'm the Messiah. Makes Stephen Hawking look like he's eating his boogers and asking everybody to watch him do it for stream online for $8 billion. What? I did that when I was a kid, but I think that was to build up my immune system. Yeah. But maybe he needs his immune system built up. Maybe so. What's $8 million for? The world may never know. Oh, I can't get through without biting. That Tootsie Pearl center of the Tootsie Pop, right? And so, you don't realize how talented and gifted you are till other people come and attack you and tell you I'm better than you. And you're like, at what? You have supermodel good looks. Yes. You are an architect. You are a doctor. You repair. Okay, you're a body mechanic. You give people drugs to accept the rape over money. You were born hot and you use it to make lots of money to support their businesses so they can sell the products. And if you buy our products, you'll be as fuckable as him. I don't know. He's pretty fucking fuckable there. I think I could get all the products in the world and still not be as fuckable as him. I'm pretty certain. Back in the day when I was Cruz, I'm not Cruz anymore. Sometimes I don't wish I was Cruz again. I was thinking about that today when I was up hanging those lights. I got connected to the old Irishman. Son of a bitch. You do not want to have a prayer connection with Philip Sheridan Murphy there. Oh, son of a bitch. That man, when I was finishing up, he was really fussing and cussing, right? Because he liked to put up Christmas lights, but he hated doing the ladder and all that, and he hated, and every time he did Christmas lights, he thought of preachers and priests, and he hated. He loathed nuns, preachers, and priests. He goes, they're horrible. He based his understanding of Jesus and the way they perceived him and the way they teach it off of them. They're pious and self-righteous and pompous as hell. And you walk on and they're holier than thou and they're better than you. Okay? And anytime you go ask them for help, the Lord helps those that helps themselves. The Lord does blah, 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 blah. He goes, and you are being, the Lord helps you, but you have your social position, you kiss ass to the rich, and you make it all off the blood, sweat, and tears of the poor. Oh, he was pissed. He was letting me have it. I was like, God dang, he sure has got a point. I was going to share it with Dad, and I thought, no, I don't know. Think if my dad could. I want to have him have a better relationship and understanding my Grandpa Murphy, but I don't think my dad can handle it because my dad hated my grandpa. And when you get right down to it, it's like, no, Grandpa had a point. Okay. But after I went to go get the mail and was walking back, I explained to him, like I say to people about that, I don't blame God because other people are assholes, and I don't blame the Lord for what the heathens, he says many times in the Bible, don't do like the heathen and the hypocrite do, the ones that go to the synagogues and the pulpits and get their rewards from men, So he told them, you have to, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. But they do it in a pompous, and then their God who sits in the sky and watches us all be murdered and die and watches the wealthy make their wealth with the fucking priest pretending to be like Jesus. And that's what made my grandpa so mad. All the fucking self-righteous hypocrite. He hated bishops. He hated priests. And I didn't like it either because when he's sitting there saying this stuff, it's like, damn. The priests in the Catholic Church in Ireland and New York sound just like the bishops in the Mormon Church in New Mexico and Arizona. Yeah, that apple don't fall far from the tree. And he sat there and he said, and nuns, either they're, self-righteous, pious, bitchy hypocrites that are going to go marry Jesus because they're too good for the rest of us, or they're ugly and fucking mean. And I was like, Grandpa? He was letting, nobody wants to have sex with him anyway. And when they get to heaven, you sure as hell know their Jesus or their priest ain't going to have fucking anything to do with them. And I'm like, good gravy, this man is, woo! So me turn him off. Okay. That's my grandpa. Okay. He was going off. But I told him, I said, Grandpa, I don't blame the Lord for what self-righteous, pompous, arrogant, egotistical people do in his name. How they project their self-righteousness on him. So I don't blame Jesus. I believe in the Jesus I read about and in the stories. And he's nothing like those assholes in those corporations that think they're holier than thou and better than thou and self-righteous, pompous, won't stand up for a Lord's Prayer. I said, no. A good priest, Vincent van Gogh there. He's a good man there. Old Vincent. He had a rough life. I can relate in a lot of ways. Yeah. I get so tired of all that bullshit that people hear, you're a wacko, you're a pervert. I'm a wacko and a pervert. Okay. Why is that? Because I'm honest about my surveyed life. Okay. You want me to lie about it? So what do you want me to say? Okay. When a man gets abused by perverts that you vote for every 2 to 4 years so you can get their money, okay, and he stands up again and wait, this is fundamentally wrong. That's the first thing they asked me in Sierra Vista. They came up, they were like, oh, you seem to be the guy from this book. I said, yeah, I've always known that. Jesus kind of told me that. What do we need to do to avoid all the bad, crappy stuff in the book of Revelation? Just live the Lord's Prayer. It's not time yet. What the fuck do you mean it's not time yet? Well, that doesn't make any sense. So these people are obviously insane. And people that accept their money over the Lord's Prayer are obviously insane y también. Cero, right? So you can't really talk to them. Because how do you talk to insane people and tell insane people, Lord's Prayer is perfect, let's live it now, apply it in physics, there you go, because it doesn't work. I've been doing it for 15 fucking years on YouTube, okay? Then they got this, Robert Greene, how to be right, how to do this. Well, I think what we need to do is embrace our masculinity. And I wanted to write a book that people would read in the year 3020. Why? You want to be like Constantine and Jerome? They were murdering assholes. Okay. Jesus didn't want the book. He wanted us to live what he asked us to do. Then you don't have to read a book. You're doing it. I don't understand these people. Why are they winning these prizes? What's with the fucking prizes? Why are they being commended and saying, you're such a brilliant Jesus, you're amazing, you're going to change the world, right? Why? Okay. Ideas don't change the world. Okay? They don't. They don't change the world. Not ideas. Okay. Actions of people's ideas change the world. Okay. I can have the idea that I'm going to build a nuclear weapon, but assholes have to put it into action for that fucking nuclear weapon to change the world. Okay. So your ideas become a problem when they become actions, right? I don't have any ideas. Okay. I have belief in truth and faithful love from that belief. Okay. I'm doing everything in my ability to have that change the world. But I just can't get enough people to take action. I think most of it's because I think you're just fucking crazy because you've been bombarded into selfishness through tribalism and Stockholm syndrome or whatever you want to label it over tens of thousands of years. I don't know what. I don't know. If I knew, I would be like, you're healed. What? Bring J-Lo to me. I shall toucheth her. Now she is healed. Okay, now woman, go forth and liveth the Lord's Prayer and pass it on to thou children and pass it on to the baby daddies. Okayeth. Oh, Sam. Sam is his name. It's Sam Affleck, yeah. Sam and Seraphina and Violet. And it's Sister Phelps. And she's from Idaho. Sister Phelps. I love my sister. I love her. And what else was it? There was a bunch of them were all coming back to me. I was watching. It's to kiss you like this and to touch you like that. It's all coming back to me. Is it Jim Steinham? Jim Steinham wrote that song, but Celine Dion sings it. There you go. Jim Steinham also wrote 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but Meatloaf said that. And like Tom always used to say, is it Mr. Meat or is it Mr. Loaf? Could be both. All right. Do anything for love, but I won't do that. Love is perfect. You don't have to do anything for it. And if you say I won't do that, love won't make you do things where you say I won't do that for it. Right? Love's perfect. Okay, guys. I love you. We'll talk later, man.